How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. So come out here this morning to make a quick video. I've kind of had a season to use this Bergara Squared Crest. It's the B14, not the Premier. But I think that there's some things that, that can be talked about on this rifle. Looking at it from just the spec sheet, it's pretty impressive, I think, for the money and, for what you're getting for the money. I think it's a pretty good value. There's a couple of things I like, a couple of things I don't like. Just wanted to talk about that. Never really been one to talk about and give my opinion without using it. First impressions and like looks and stuff, yeah, sure, I'll give my opinion. But as far as actually, using the rifle and hunting with it and carrying it and shooting it and all that stuff, I want to make sure that I, have experience with the rifle before I give you my opinion on it, obviously. And so, like I said, I have used this rifle for the, the 2023 season, not for all species, but, I did use it for deer. So put the Leupold VX6, I did the 3-18 by 44, mounted it in tally lows, and the 44 millimeter actually has plenty of clearance over the barrel there. I do like this scope. It's a little bit heavier than I would typically run, but the quality is super nice. And if you do want to see a video on this VX6 scope, I can definitely do that. Like I said, it's pretty impressive. A little bit heavy, but other than that, it is quite an impressive rifle scope. So back to the rifle. So a few just specs to run through, most of which you probably already know, but it is a steel barrel and a carbon stock. It is a super comfortable stock. It feels really, really nice. That being said, this style stock isn't always the easiest to walk around with and carry. It's very much made for having a sling on it, and you do get, you've got the sling swivel studs. You also got the QD flush cups there, so you have some options. But I actually don't like running slings whenever possible. I just like having it in my hand. That being said, it's a little bit tougher to just carry this thing around. The other thing that makes it tougher to carry it around is the fact that it is a little bit heavy. Now, by target rifle standards, it's not at all, but I typically like a lighter weight rifle, lighter weight scope, just all that good stuff, because I'm not shooting 1,000 yards. I'm shooting, 400 max probably in most scenarios. So this one, I think, was 7.1 pounds in the 6.5 PRC that this is chambered in, with the VX6 scope. I mean, it's fairly heavy. I mean, it's not a light rifle by any means. So that, coupled with the fact that you have, the vertical grip and the magazine that hangs down, it's not the most comfortable rifle to carry. Another negative I would say about the rifle is the magazine that comes with this one. I have seen polymer mags come with these rifles. I'm not sure how they determine which one comes with which, but this one did come with the metal, the AICS mag or whatever. It's a super strong magazine. A lot of power in that spring. I mean, you have to really push it down to load it, but it's kind of loud. I'm guessing that's probably coming through on the microphone there, but it's just a little loud. Now, granted, when it's loaded, it's not quite as loud, but it does still make some noise. It rattles. It's not really super tight. So I guess my recommendation would be, if that bothers you, which it does me, they do make some flush fit magazines, or semi-flush. They kind of at least don't stick down as much, and they're polymer, so they're probably going to be maybe a little bit quieter. So maybe look into that. The rifle itself, the thing that drew me to it, other than the fact that it was, about $1,700 and you got a nice vertical grip carbon fiber stock, I liked the action. And so I've felt the Bergaras in the store, like the Premier action, like a Mountain 2.0 or something like that. The actions felt nice, but the one in this one actually feels nicer. This is probably the nicest feeling 700 style rifle action I've ever felt. And I mean, I've had rifles that cost a lot more than this one, and it might just be a one-off. I don't think that's the case, because I felt another one chambered in 6.5 Creedmoor that felt just as good, but it's tight and it feels like it's running on ball bearings. So I mean, it's got the slickness of the Tikka action without the slop. I mean, it's a super nice action. Feels really good. One thing that I don't like about it, and that's not this rifle, but it is every 700, I don't like how far the bolt throw is. So this VX6 scope, when turned more towards that 15 to 18 range, it's really close on the tolerances there as far as clearing. And so I had an actual throw lever on this scope that I had to take off because the ice shifted behind me there. So I had a throw lever on this scope. I had to take it off because the bolt was hitting it when I would run it. Again, that's just a 700 thing, and one reason why I'm not always the biggest fan of 700 style rifles. Trigger is awesome. I believe it's a Trigger Tech. Super nice trigger. Safety is nice. It's not loud. You can run it pretty quiet. You know, it doesn't make a lot of noise when you flip it off there. Free floated barrel, obviously, pretty much everything is getting that nowadays if it's a decent rifle. It does have a 20-inch barrel, which I do like. Some people don't care for the shorter barrel, but I like the handiness of it. It is probably, I guess, maybe 22 inches or so with the brake, maybe 21 and a half. Also, that brake, I can't get that thing off. Ever since I got it from the gun shop, I've not been able to twist that thing off of there. Granted, I haven't wanted to or haven't needed to, I suppose, but just grabbing it with your hands, that thing's stuck on there. So it might take some heat to get that brake off of there. Shooting the rifle, that's super nice. So 0 recoil in the 6.5 PRC. The brake does a really good job, and obviously that's not a huge caliber or cartridge by any means, but the brake does a really good job. It's honestly a pleasure to shoot this rifle, and accuracy is super good. Shot the Precision Hunter, Federal Terminal Ascent, and what was the other one? Nosler, the Nosler AccuBond long range. That one was the worst shooting. That one was probably more like an inch and a quarter groups. But Precision Hunter and Terminal Ascent were more like 1/2 to 3/4 inch groups with the rifle, pretty much, you know, every group. So it is a good shooting rifle. The weight isn't terrible. You get a super nice stock for the money that you're spending on the rifle. You're getting a nice stock. You're getting one of the best actions that I've ever felt. You're getting a good trigger, free floated barrel, QD flush cups. Everything about this is just honestly really, really good quality. When you hold it, it feels like a nice rifle. So I think for the money that these things are, you really can't go wrong. I guess the one thing that I would probably change if I was going to keep this rifle long term is, for me, I would go to a lighter weight scope just because you're already 7.1 pounds. Maybe go to like a VX3, 4.5 to 14, and cut that weight down by about 1/2 pound. I would also switch this magazine out for a flush fit magazine. Other than that, super nice rifle. Just wanted to make a quick video, talk about it after I'd put some rounds through it, took a deer with it this winter. Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for what I would say is kind of an entry-level precision rifle for around that $1,700 mark, definitely check out the Bergara Squared Crest B14. Thanks.